Hi, the SI meteorologist, Paul Dorian here on Wednesday, June 5th. Another fantastic day here in the Mid-Atlantic region, thanks to a strong Canadian high-pressure system that will control the weather for one more day. There's a transition going on, it looks like, for Thursday as more humidity moves into the Mid-Atlantic region, and it's setting up to be a very interesting, unsettled weather period Friday and Saturday with tropical connections. Boatload of moisture right now over the eastern part of the Gulf of Mexico. Looks like it'll ride right up the East Coast, potentially dumping heavy rain on the Mid-Atlantic I-95 corridor in the Friday-Saturday time frame. There's a second player on the field, a strong upper-level trough over the middle part of the country that plays a crucial role in the late-week weather pattern that very well could dump heavy rain up and down the East Coast. Let's take a look at the latest surface map and look at some of those players on the field. First of all, we still have strong Canadian high pressure here in southeastern Canada, sending cool air for this time of the year down the northeast coast. This high moves off the East Coast by tomorrow, and that tends to open the door for Gulf of Mexico moisture to start turning to the north and east towards the southeast coast. Also, this is a main player here. There is a strong surface cold front associated with a strong upper level feature. We'll look at that in a moment. This is causing some more severe thunderstorm activity today across Oklahoma and Arkansas. And this all moves gradually to the east. A combination of this moving to the east, the eastern Gulf of Mexico moisture moving to the northeast, will put kind of an atmospheric squeeze play on the Mid-Atlantic region at the end of the week with potential heavy rainfall on Friday and Saturday. Well, here's a current 500 millibar map, and this is again where a main player is in existence right now over the center part of the country. Another strong upper level, cold upper level, low pressure system that is helping to spawn some more severe weather in the center part of the nation. This has kind of been the pattern over the last few weeks with these unusually strong for this time of the year upper level lows and helping to spawn all that severe weather activity out there. In fact, can be some more severe weather over the next 12 hours in places like Arkansas and Oklahoma. This plays a crucial role in the end of the week situation along the East Coast. Notice right now the upper level winds at this level, 500 millibars, generally west to east here in the Mid-Atlantic region. And we'll note in a moment or two how that changes as this slowly moves to the East Coast by the end of the week. And that change in the upper level wind flow, I think, presents some problems in terms of that eastern Gulf of Mexico moisture, and indeed should ride right up the East Coast in the Friday and Saturday time frame. Well, before we take a look at some forecast maps, let's kind of focus in on the eastern Gulf of Mexico, and this is where in the last few frames you can see quite a bit of intensification here. This is a colorized infrared satellite loop from the Penn State EWAL site. The darker colors here represent colder temperatures, generally reflective of high clouds, and in other words, thunderstorms are deepening and growing in altitude over the last several frames. So this is quite a healthy looking system. Again, the bulk of it is southwest of Florida right now, but over the next several hours it will start to turn to the north and east. Let's now take a look at the latest visible satellite loop. And here's the visible satellite loop from the Penn State EWAL site. Last few frames show a very healthy looking system here. Again, just to the southwest of Florida here, kind of a broad area, deep moisture content here. It's just a boatload of moisture ready to inundate Florida with some heavy rain over the next day or two, and then looks like it'll ride right up the East Coast come Friday and Saturday. Well, let's take a look at some forecast maps. I'm using last night's 0Z NAM model run, the North American Mesoscale model. This seems to have a better handle, I believe, on the upcoming situation along the East Coast. The GFS model continues to this point to push most of the tropical moisture off the Mid-Atlantic coast, sparing the Mid-Atlantic region with heavy rainfall. However, I think it's kind of an oddball and will tend to come around to the NAM model. NAM model, supported by the Canadian model, continues to have quite a bit of rainfall along the I-95 corridor in the Friday-Saturday time frame as it forecasts that tropical low to indeed move up along the East Coast. We'll see if the GFS comes around later on today. But this is the 500 millibar forecast map We'll look at tomorrow night, Thursday evening, and then 12 hours later, Friday morning, Friday night, and Saturday morning. Just want to point out this is a main player in the upcoming situation. Notice that the upper level winds, which had been coming out of the west to the east earlier, well, actually in the current situation, this is the forecast for tomorrow night. Now notice it's starting to kind of back around to more of a southwesterly flow here. Meanwhile, just a boatload of moisture sitting right here. So keep this wind flow pattern in mind here as we now jump ahead to Friday morning. Notice it's starting to become more of southerly flow here right along the east coast. And then Friday evening, same sort of thing. A lot of southerly flow here along the east coast as that Central Plains upper level low approaches the east coast. It tends to deepen, and this will change the wind flow here right along the east coast, allowing, I believe, that boatload of moisture here over the eastern Gulf of Mexico to ride right up the east coast, dumping heavy rain on the I-95 corridor in the Friday-Saturday time frame. Now by Saturday morning, still pretty much situated the same way here in terms of the upper level trough. Now let's take a look at the surface forecast maps from last night's 0Z NAM model run. Here's again the same time frame we're looking at tomorrow night, and the NAM has kind of a low pressure area well to the west here of the GFS model in the almost the central part of the Gulf of Mexico by tomorrow night. Lots of moisture just ready to take that turn up the east coast. High pressure still kind of dominating picture here in the southeastern part of Canada. Let's now jump ahead to Friday morning. Here's the NAM forecast map. It has that low well inland, starting to take that turn north and east up the east coast. High pressure still situated across the upper part of New England and southeastern part of Canada. By Friday evening, NAM model run has some heavy rain just on the doorstep of the Mid-Atlantic I-95 corridor. And then finally by Saturday morning, it's really dumping here on the I-95 corridor from D.C. to Philadelphia and New York City. So the NAM model is in agreement with the Canadian model in keeping that tropical low inland somewhat, dumping heavy rain on the Mid-Atlantic I-95 corridor in the Friday-Saturday time frame. We'll, of course, monitor this as time progresses today. Stay tuned to the SIweather.com for some updates. That's it for now. I'm the SI meteorologist, Paul Dorian.